Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Tarila is here again. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how and why I became a teacher. Teaching was never even an option for me, right? I wanted to have a school. I still want to have a school. Like, I want to have a preschool, like just a play school for children only. That's what I want to have. Even if it's not going to be like a proper school, I want it to be like maybe a play center or like a learning center where children can come and play and learn and have fun, you know. So I'm definitely still going to do that. So when I was in, I think, uni, I had spoken to my mom about it, and then she was like, oh, but you need to have a degree in education or like a certificate or something, you know, just so that you can be licensed, one, and maybe experienced to own that kind of institution. I didn't study education. I didn't think of studying education. I didn't think that after uni I was going to become a teacher. So I studied history and international relations. So what I had in mind was I would work for an NGO, you know, I would leave the country, you know, I'll work for United Nations, I'll become an ambassador. You know, that's what I actually had in mind. So when it was time for NYSC, I had spoken to my mom, and then she had spoken to a couple of other people, and then we agreed that I would go work with or for this NGO. But last minute, I just thought, why not work at Corona, you know? So I went to Corona Secondary School, and where my dad's house is on the same estate as Corona Secondary School. So when that thought came to mind, what I had in mind was, oh, Corona Secondary School, let me just go and serve there. See Corona here, see my father's house here, I beg, let me just do that, you know. So I was actually looking at convenience. You know, that period between when you're done with final year exams and you're waiting for convocation and then NYSC. So I was done with my final year exams in April of 2016, and convocation was set for September 8th. NYSC was like December or something of that 2016. So I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? I had May, June, July, August, 4 months. And you know, that time I was a makeup artist, like I was practicing in school. That's how I was making extra money, doing makeup and all of that. So I'm like, okay, let me do makeup classes. So I got a space, I did flyers, and I had students. I had about maybe 15 students. I'm going to insert maybe a clip or a picture somewhere here. Taught them how to do makeup, how to do eyebrows, how to tie gaily, and I enjoyed it. I loved the fact that, you know, I could teach somebody something, and that thing that they learn from me, they will use it to get better, to make themselves better. So at this point, I was already in love with the idea of teaching, but it was more like, oh, teaching adults and all of that. So when I spoke to my parents about just, see Corona here now, let me just work at Corona. So my dad was like, okay, well, go and meet the principal and tell her that you want to serve there. So I went there and I was like, oh, this is additional, I want to serve here. She was like, yeah, okay now. So she called HR and she was like, oh, I have someone who wants to do NYSC. How far? Is there space? And then they were like, oh yes, there's space at the Lekki school. This school that they're calling Lekki school is not Lekki phase 1. No. It's not Jakonde. It's not even VGC. It's after Aja. But the reason why it's called Corona Lekki is because at first it was around Jakonde. Then they moved to their permanent sites after VGC. Like, okay, there's space here. We need like an admin officer, something like that. That their current admin officer was on maternity leave, so they needed somebody just to fill in for that period. So I was like, okay now, Lekki, maybe they go. Because at that point, like I just okay, at least I'll be leaving home. I'm going. Fantastic. Okay, let's go. So I got to Corona Lekki and I was not in the classroom, okay? But I had access, like I used to peep and see, like I'll go around and all that, and it was doing me somehow, you know? Then so I resumed work there January 2017 after NYSC camp. And then by May 2017, the admin officer who was on maternity leave resumed. And then they needed, so Corona has a teachers college, which is now a college of education for teachers. So like already established or experienced teachers go there for more teacher training programs, you know. Then people who are looking to become teachers go there and get their certificates and all of that. So I was transferred to Corona Teachers College in May 2017. And then, you know, I was assisting here and there. Whenever there's a training, I'll be there. So what happened was there was a summer camp for teachers. This was held in August of 2017, and it was held at the secondary school that was close to my parents' house. So I was home, but I was still going every day, like, to help with the trainings and all. And then I sat in a couple of training programs for early childhood, and my life was changed. So I mean, it was a lot of fun. Like, I had fun. I'm like, so really, this is how teachers have fun, you know, in the classroom and all of that. Hey, I like it. So I think I'm going to be a teacher. Ta-da! So that was when I decided. I'm like, okay. What am I going to do after NYSC? I'm going to teach. The training school now started offering a professional diploma in education. So you could specialize in college, secondary school students, you could specialize in primary, you could specialize in early childhood. I specialized in early childhood and primary education. So I did that course for a year. I did it from 2018 January till 2018 December. That's when I had my final exams. Then I did the licensing exams, and then I passed that. I got my certificate, I got my license to teach in Nigeria. Woo! 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 So after like 4 months, I think after first semester of doing this PGD, we had to go do teaching practice. So I was posted to Corona School Badada, and I had my teaching practice there for about 3 months. I was posted to nursery 1. So I sat there, I would watch the teachers, I would see how they teach, I would see the children. I was like, oh my god, yay! I chose the right career, woohoo! I was super pumped, I was so excited. And then after, I think a month, we swapped, and then I went to another class. I think I was in nursery 2 or another nursery 1. So I just got to see like different teachers I was observing and all of that. And then before the end of my teaching practice, I was observed as well. I had to teach a class, and that was my first time, and I was so stiff. I think I taught, because at Corona, right, rhymes and stories are a subject. So I picked rhymes and stories, and I was going to teach the children Hickory Dickory Dock. So if you don't know it, hickory dickory dock, the mouse went up the clock struck 1, the mouse fell down, hickory dickory dock. Like, I had all the resources to make that class super interesting, but it was my first time actually standing in front of the children and teaching them, and my observer was right there like this, looking. I'm like, hey, this is it. So I'm like, okay, I think I should go volunteer at a school just to put into practice what I've learned. I teach in practice what I'm learning currently. So there was this school just down the road. So I went there, you know, I was teaching, but then they put me in primary 2, which is still fine because I was specializing in early childhood and primary. So I was in primary 2, I was teaching them, I was enjoying myself, you know. And then around October, I saw medical graduate teacher training program. So I currently work at Medical School Lekki. I applied. So now I'm done with why I became a teacher, right? I'm done with why. Why? Because I saw the training programs and because I loved it. So yeah. And because I taught, you know, I had a makeup school. Like, I even gave them certificates. So I taught and I liked it. So that's why I decided to become a teacher. This is how I started with my postgraduate diploma in education. I did my teaching practice. I volunteered as a teacher for about 3-4 months. Then this graduate teacher training program fell into my lap. So I was trained at Meadow Hall Consult for 3 months. Now, when I got there, you know, I had heard, okay, some of their trainees, they absorbed them into the system, they employed some of them. Some sets of trainees, they employed all of them. Some sets didn't employ anyone. I'm like, okay, what to do? If I want somebody to notice me, what do? I put myself out there. On the first day of the training, they had asked for volunteers for class rep. So 2 of us were picked, so I was one of the class reps. So I was always going to the consult, always here, always there. So everybody knew me. And you know, I'm a fine girl now, so like, duh. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the training, I was interviewed and ta-da! Got the job. So yeah, I think I'm going to do a story time about how I got my first teaching job. I think it's kind of related to this, but no, I'll save it for another video because it's a story. It's worthy of another video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been teaching full time for almost 2 years now, and it's been amazing. I really love what I do. I love the children. I love the fact that I can teach them something, and you know, that thing that I teach them is going to make them better. It's going to prepare them for the next stage of their lives, and it's really amazing. So yeah, thank you for listening to my story. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!